Hello, welcome into the CHGO White Sox pregame show, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Welcome into Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm Sean Anderson, the host of the CHGO White Sox pregame show. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson, and alongside me is the full CHGO White Sox crew. We got Vinnie Duber on the far left. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He is our CHGO White Sox beat writer. And the man in the middle is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's the CHGO White Sox community leader. Is that a rumor shirt?
Is it a what?
Rumor shirt?
It's a shirt with a cactus on it.
Oh, it's a cactus shirt.
Yeah.
I just always assume band with you, and I didn't get a good look of it today. I assumed Stevie Nicks. Maybe it was a rumor shirt.
If you noticed, whenever I do the hat, which is a Grateful Dead hat, I don't like to double up music. Gives me that kind of uniform feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never like, going to a game and having the hat and the jersey or the hat and the shirt makes you feel like you're trying to play for the team or something like that. So I always try to diversify between the headgear and the torso gear.
I always feel very fanish or very weird when I do White Sox hat and then White Sox shirt. It feels very White Sox, like Herb picked U of I and then White Sox. It kind of gives a different vibe. I get you completely. And hey, I appreciate blank name coming in here, a.k.a. Sox Math champion Sean Anderson.
Three-time.
This year's been my year. I've really figured out the game, and now having access to, my job basically just being watching White Sox games and being on cable. That's such a advantage. So many people are on YouTube TV. There's no delay. I'm playing with the advantage here.
I think we're getting to the point where it's like, Herb, does he ride off into the sunset? Does he go out on top?
I got to retire.
Yeah, I mean, I seen him do so many Sox Man things, but lately it's been pretty much I'm gonna get this one and I'll skip the next two. Like the one he won, he didn't even participate in the next two, or he didn't participate in yesterday's. He's like, I don't care, I won.
Just how many times, though, do you see somebody who reaches the pinnacle of their sport and they just kind of keep trying to get back there and it never happens? And it's kind of sad to watch, actually.
Keep on chasing that feeling.
So I wonder, do you go out on top? Do you ride off into the sunset?
It's like Elvis Andrus.
Poor Elvis.
Hey, it's like just like Elvis. He's cold. Anyways, I just got that reference. Like a best dish, a dish best served cold is or a best dish served Elvis. What is it?
You said
I just didn't get the Elvis reference because
revenge is a dish best served cold.
Right, and revenge is the best dish served Elvis. I didn't understand. It's because he's dead.
I think it was because it was just silly. I think it was just silly at first.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that was what Herb explained to me.
Yeah, I would. That's what I was like. I was just tried to make sense of the whole thing, and I was like, Elvis is dead. Dead people are usually cold, and that's the saying.
And I just believed you.
You did.
Okay, great. All right,
Silly,
let's just skip
Sean.
all this and just talk White Sox. What's up, Matthew Cortese? We'll be picking 5-0 no-hitters a little bit later on. Let's look at the report from Daryl Van Schouwen because Herb – actually, let's go to Herb's tweet first because Herb kind of tweeted this out in the morning, and this is what I first saw first. And I was like, hell yeah, Herb, I agree with you. I want some resolution to this Tony La Russa situation. Someone has to say he's coming back or isn't. A leader somewhere within the White Sox organization has to settle things either 100% or 0% because his possible return is creating a distraction. Tony La Russa will not be following or traveling with the team. He was not in Cleveland yesterday, as reported by Daryl Van Schouwen of the Sun-Times, and also reported by Daryl Van Schouwen. Tony is not making the trip with the team to Detroit. And kind of along those lines, in the same story, Daryl posted in the Sun-Times. I saw this a little bit later. La Russa 77 mixed. Oh, I can't even read that. You wear glasses. I got it right there. Don't worry. You wear glasses and you think you can read better, but you can't. La Russa 77 missed his 16th game as he awaits medical clearance from his cardiologist to return to managing, and it remained uncertain whether he would return to the dugout for any of the Sox last 18 games. While there is respect and affection for La Russa as well as concern for his health in the Sox clubhouse, there's also strong feelings allowing bench coach Miguel Cairo to continue as acting manager through the season would be best for all involved. 100% One clubhouse source told the Sun-Times strong sentiment to keep Cairo at the helm is to be known to be shared in important pockets of the front office as well. So I will give it to Herb first. It's not really 100% or 0%. It's kind of in the middle. The quote from Daryl is 100% from one clubhouse source. But you're saying you want a 100% answer or a 0% answer, and it just kind of is an unnamed answer.
And I'm sure the players don't necessarily mind it right now, but as soon as Vinny and all the media people come in, it's like, hey, heard that Tony's doing this and that. Then after a while, it's going to get cumbersome. It's like, oh, God, I got to answer this question again. I don't know if Tony's coming back, but, I love Tony. Tony's this, that, and the other. That, after a while, becomes a distraction. Hey, and they're probably thinking it too. Like, even if they love Tony and they love what Miguel's doing and the results are good, it's a distraction to think, okay, is Tony coming back? Cool. I would love Tony because I love the person. But I want some resolution on either way. Like, if he's not, and it seems like Tony wants to come back. He's a baseball lifer. He probably would love to be on the bench and managing this team again. And I feel like, with the quotes there and the whispers we've heard from different sources, that the White Sox are like, the results are good, Tony. The guys have been playing better. They've been hitting a lot of balls hard. And I saw Josh Nelson was on with Bernstein and Holmes today, and he was like, they got the highest slugging in the American League since Miguel Cairo took over. That could be coincidence, but why roll dice? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Miguel Cairo's doing this thing right now, and so I almost want Jerry Reinsdorf or Tony La Russa themselves. Like, hey, I love to manage, but the guys are doing well for themselves. So, in fairness to them, I'm going to step aside and let Miguel Cairo keep on doing what he is. Or, hey, man, I want to come back. Once my doctors clear me, I'm in. Or as Rick Hahn says that this in limbo thing is just what's killing me. And I'm sure the players are cool, calm, collected, but I think eventually it'll get to them.
Yeah, upon seeing your tweet, when you said it's a distraction, I think it's a distraction to you more than it is anybody actually on the White Sox. Mm-hmm. But I think everything you said there is pretty correct, and the main thing being they're winning. Yeah. And what have we heard from Liam Hendriks a few times now? Man, for 5 months we were looking for that spark, for that energy, and I'm of the opinion that it came from probably a lot of different sources, but there's no doubt about it that Miguel Cairo was one of them. And so if you finally stumble upon something that works after you spent so long looking for anything to work and nothing was working, everything's working right now, let it keep working. Mm-hmm. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is truly probably the number one thing that you've got to think when you're talking about this question. I don't know if that's how it's going to play out. Maybe it does hang in limbo for the rest of the year, but I don't think it becomes a problem until the winning goes away. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, then let it just sit there and be ambiguous, because the whole point right now is to win and to keep the energy going in that clubhouse. Right now they have it. So obviously no one wants it to change.
Well, and I wonder too, like, obviously there's going to be a boost of energy from someone going from a 77-year-old manager to a 48-year-old manager. There's a 30-year-old difference there. But I do wonder too,
I don't know if that's true. I think it's just the way that Miguel phrased and came in. A guy you can be 48 years old and boring as hell.
It's true.
You know what I mean? You can be 77-year-old and dancing around and being crazy.
Like Jack Lane.
Exactly. I think that's a nice reference for Sean right there. But I think the point though is that Miguel Cairo has done it right. He gave this team what they needed to get.
Well, what I think I was more going towards was just like Tony has 3 World Series rings, and the last 2006, the second one he won, it was kind of, they got into the playoffs and they won it. Like, Tony probably had this we just got to make sure that we're in. Miguel never won a World Series. So I guess I wonder, like, him as a player, and there was the quote from Bob Nightingale of what Cairo said. He said, I'm just trying to make sure they know they're good. They're really good players. They have so much talent. I told them, don't let this opportunity go by. For a guy who played 17 years, didn't win that World Series, and seeing the talent on this team, Elvis Andrus saying, this is the most talented team I've ever seen, and saying, like, oh, when you get this close to a World Series and you could smell it, like, maybe they needed that type of wake-up call. That especially Jose Abreu, that's probably what he wants to hear. Like, that's a guy who probably just all he wants is postseason success. And, that's the one thing he hasn't really had in his career is major league postseason success.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to the point that it is what they have said about this is that it's a similar message being delivered in a much different way. And I think multiple guys that I've talked to on the team have credited one of Miguel's strengths as having that perspective of a guy who was a player not that long ago, relatively. And so, to be able to communicate with these guys in, not a literal language that they understand, but a perspective that they understand is fresh. That's new, coming from the manager's role, right? Because a guy like Tony La Russa has not been a player in decades. He has been a very, very successful manager during that stretch, but he has not had that same perspective. He can't, that Miguel Cairo has right now. That perspective right now is what's working for the White Sox.
And I think we discussed this the other day, Sean, where Miguel has been there the whole year. And the fact that it finally, his message resonated with the players. I don't know if he said the same things before or if he had the freedom to say these things before. I don't know in the clubhouse, but
he said he didn't.
Yeah,
and that's not Tony imposing a rule on somebody. That's the job, basically, or the job title imposing that on Miguel Cairo.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
And real quick, just going back to the age thing, and you just mentioned Miguel Cairo, being able to talk to them in terms like that they can understand just because he was a player more recently. He retired from the game in 2012. Tony La Russa retired from being a player before Miguel Cairo was born.
Yes.
So that was just more of the point I was trying to make, was just
Absolutely.
that, there is a gap there, and I just think that,
Yeah, I just want to watch the whole ageism thing. I'm always on the hunt for it.
And I always think, I hope that if Tony does come back, the roles of, and I know it's probably not necessarily his rule that, hey, you can't be talking, but something what Miguel has done has sparked this team, and as a part of Johnny Cueto, Elvis Andrus, the new blood that has come in, and sometimes you need an outside perspective of yourself to feel better about yourself. It's like, I'm feeling a little down about myself, and then somebody else comes man, when I was in Oakland, I saw y'all is great, and now I'm part of this, man, let's go. We have all the talent we need in this room. And so whatever Miguel said after that first game where Tony was gone, that needs to continue. The open dialogue, the honest dialogue that these players have had, the fun they've been having. I know winning is fun, and then it turns into itself, but the culture and the fun and the great games that they've been having, as Vinny said, these games are actually fun. Not even no matter the result, but I feel the White Sox are doing the things that we expected them to do, and whatever unlocked that, if it's Miguel Cairo, if it's Elvis Andrus, the combination of everything that went on, keep it going. Because if Tony wants to come back, I say let the man come back. You can't hold him back if he's cleared medically and he wants to come back. Otherwise, you're just firing him, and you might as well just say that. But if the man wants to come back, but also keep the same energy you have going on right now. And if they felt that they couldn't say anything, or if they felt that it was the atmosphere to do only what your job is, open that up. Have the guys do their jobs a little bit better. Have them a little bit open and honest dialogue like they're having right now, and they're having a lot more fun.
And the main thing, too, obviously, Tony still needs to be cleared medically for him to actually come back and do the job of managing the White Sox here. All right, let's go to the starting lineup for the Sox because, as Steven flashed, we only have 7 minutes until this game starts. Leading off for the Sox will be Elvis Andrus playing shortstop, batting second, Yohan Moncada at third base, batting third, Jose Abreu at first base, batting fourth, Eloy Jimenez at designated hitter, batting fifth, Gavin Sheets in right field, batting sixth, Andrew Vaughn in left field, batting seventh, A.J. Pollock in center field, batting eighth, Yasmani Grandal at catcher, and batting ninth, Josh Harrison at second base. Interesting seeing Grandal move down to 8 after seeing a home run from him. I thought maybe, they'd ride those good vibes and maybe he'd be up a little bit, but maybe to the fans' delight because they don't want to see him at designated hitter. Batting eighth and playing catcher, I guess, is where Grandal is at right now and just needs to work his way up that lineup.
He's earned that spot. So until he starts hitting the cover off the ball like he did in the second half of last year, eighth's good with me. It's real good with me.
No Luis Robert.
Yeah, I just really think this is going to kind of be the way that things are with him for the rest of the year. It's show up to the park. Can you give us a swing? No, it still hurts. All right, you're out of the lineup. Yeah, you're good. All right, you're in there until there's a reason not not to be in there. So I don't think that we're ever going to see Luis Robert at 100% for the remainder of 2022. That's tough for the White Sox, but they've been getting good play from, or at least good offensive play from the outfielders that they've got out there right now. Pollock, Vaughn, Sheets, they've been doing a good job at the plate of late. So it's not the drop-off that you might have feared had I told you this was the situation, certainly back at the beginning of the year. But I think this is just going to kind of be the way it goes. It's going to be a daily Luis Robert watch. Is he able to get in there or is he not?
Let's look at the Tigers lineup. We got to create like a graphics package for Luis Robert watch with music and everything.
La Pantera sound effects.
Tonight on CHGO White Sox. Leading off, Riley Green in center field for the Tigers. Batting second, Victor Reyes in right field. Batting third, Javi Baez at shortstop. Batting fourth, Eric Haas at catcher.
How is he running?
I think he's celebrating.
Yeah, it was a home run in the picture.
Oh, that's odd.
He looks like a superhero. Batting fifth, Spencer Torkelson at first base. Batting sixth, Jeimer Candelario at designated hitter. Batting seventh, Jonathan Scope at second base. Batting eighth, Ryan Kreideller at third base. That's a brand new name. And batting ninth, Akil Baddoo in left field. Anyone you're afraid of, Herb?
I mean, always you look at Jonathan Scope. He always looks deadly to me. And if Johannes Haas is in the lineup, as Chris Tannehill calls him, he's going to do some damage versus the White Sox.
We'll see. Eric Haas versus Lucas Giolito. 4 pitches that he's hit off of Lucas Giolito. Average exit velocity of 87.1. The guy that has really done some damage, Jonathan Scope, and 8 pitches, an average exit velocity of 98.6 off of Lucas Giolito. Yep. Riley Green's also been good against Lucas Giolito. Let's look at Lucas Giolito's stats. He's going up against Matt Manning, the former top prospect for the Tigers.
There's a fourth Manning brother?
There is a fourth Manning brother. It's Matt.
Wow.
There was Peyton, Eli, Cooper,
and Matt.
From Arch. And Matt Manning, the fourth Manning brother. 50 2/3 innings pitched, 3.73 ERA, 48 hits allowed, 39 strikeouts, 14 walks, a 103 ERA plus. MLB average is 100. Lucas Giolito in 139 innings has an ERA of 5.18, 155 hits allowed, 153 strikeouts, and 52 walks, an ERA plus of 77. Is this a large game? Will we see large game Lucas Giolito? Is every game for Lucas Giolito just a large game with, the contract uncertainties, the later and later he gets away from arbitration and closer and closer to unrestricted free agent? It feels like the games get larger and larger for his season and paycheck, maybe.
I think this is a large game because the White Sox put themselves in this position to make it a large game where they got to beat the Detroit Tigers. Now, sweeping the Detroit Tigers, they should. But realistically, 2 out of 3 should be what the White Sox are shooting for. Just win today. And Lucas Giolito starts that off. He is the White Sox worst pitcher by far as a starter. This year is not a year that he thought he would have. And so this game in particular is a large game for him. He should be focusing only on this game. Once he gets done with this game, his next start probably be versus the Guardians, the larger game. But today, large game, Lucas Giolito needs to show up.
Yeah, I mean, hey, every game's a must-win. Forget about trying to win the series or sweep the series. They need to take 1 out of 1 right now, and I know that that's what they're thinking. I know that's what Miguel Cairo is preaching. Certainly for Lucas Giolito, that applies. Listen, we talked yesterday about approaching the possible playoff series and who's going to be taking the ball right there, who deserves to go in what order, and how much of it is dependent on how somebody is pitching in that moment. There is still time for Lucas Giolito to be one of the White Sox best starting pitchers, or should I say hottest starting pitchers, by the time the regular season is over. And should the White Sox reach the postseason, for him to get a good spot in that rotation. There's still time for him to do that, but it obviously starts today and every single start from here on out.
You're not wrong, but also you look at the flip side of that, maybe from a pessimistic view, it being a 3-game series now with the new wild card rule, maybe you don't need to carry 5 starting pitchers. We saw the White Sox not include Dallas Keuchel on their playoff roster last year. If you're not hot, you might just not make the 26-man roster that it will be going to the playoffs. So
absolutely,
an interesting balance here for Lucas. And the past 2 games against Detroit haven't been great. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits allowed, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 home run. That was on July 8th, and then on August 13th, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, no home runs. So
I'll take that.
I take that.
Yeah,
and then honestly take July 8th. I mean,
5 runs,
5 earned runs, a lot, but 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 1 homer. Like, I don't know. I don't know with Lucas. He's just so in and out, up and down, left and right. We'll see what happens. If you have any pulse on what might happen in this game, head over to PointsBet. They are our favorite sponsor because they are the presenting sponsor. We talk about them every single chance that we can get. I like to check PointsBet from 12 to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time because they usually have some sort of power hour going, whether it be boosted odds, free bets. I enjoy their app for that. But when you're watching maybe the Bears game on Sunday night, this football season, PointsBet is bringing you a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad's over, you can place a live same-game parlay bet on the next drive to be a touchdown and cash out your live second-half over bet. With PointsBet, you have access to more live football markets than ever before. You can build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. You could choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet's Lightning Bets. So whether you're on the move or on the couch, do it live on PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today and sign up with code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. I made a live same-game parlay today for the Tigers and White Sox game. I have Yoan Moncada to get a hit, Riley Green to get a hit, and Matt Manning over 3.5 strikeouts at plus 299. I was able to use my PointsBet boost, $3 to win 12, so we'll see if that happens today. My click to pick is Yoan Moncada. I think the White Sox win 5-3. Herb, what you got today?
I'm going to go with Jose Abreu. I think he hits a home run today, and I think the White Sox win this game 11-4. They kick the out of Matt Manning.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Elvis Andrus. He's been right in the middle of everything. Why not continue it? I'm going to say the White Sox win 9-4.
I'd love a little leadoff homer. I think that's my favorite play in baseball. Just like
Your favorite play in baseball is the leadoff homer, not the walk-off homer?
We're going to end today's CHGO White Sox pregame show because Vinny is right. You can follow Vinny on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's the CHGO White Sox beat writer. Man in the middle is Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's the CHGO White Sox community leader.
Our guy Cortese did not pick the no-hitter. He said a complete game shutout, though.
Oh, there you go. And what did he say? 5-0?
I believe he said.
7-0. All right, so he's going off the 5-0 trail. And I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson.
Real quick, guys, just want to point out, Scott Merkin reporting Tim Anderson took batting practice today and had a couple good hits from what I just read here. That was just reported like 15 minutes ago.
Very
Detroit
cool.
makes
Good sign for the White
people
Sox.
feel great.
All right, awesome. We'll be able to have something to talk about on the postgame show, and we'll talk about Tim Anderson possibly coming back. I do see all the chat about who will bat, what, and when. We'll answer all your questions on the postgame show. Make sure you subscribe to CHGO YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. Thank you to Stephen Nicholas for producing the show. We'll talk to you after the game. Go Sox.